Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na number second day for the second month for this year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Governing Council. Background song na Chameleon, 7 Colors, Yellow, Bui State.
Capo Daniel, we wish you happy Christmas in advance and send happy New Year in advance. Mama Wani, Mr. PK, Kari, Bella Franklin, all when I saw wish you a happy Christmas. Wish you happy Christmas in advance.
Fellow Ambazonians, today we're going to look at lessons learned from the fall of La Republique as they pull out of 2 major outposts within Ambazonian territory. At the same time, we bleed in the great state of BOYO. We want to pay tribute as well to Kabila. Ashu is a commander, an ADF commander in waiting, who have fallen in the hands of the Mbororo mercenaries brought in by Ngalajerat and Dawara. First, we go send a warning for the colonial mayor where he don't hold meeting for inside Bamenda, where they call in Balak Awa Fidelis, together with the 2 deputies, them Ashiri, Beatrice Ade, and Fongo Joseph, make them know so they get an arrest warrant for participating in an illegal election for Ambazonia, where no man no be vote them for present themselves as mayor, as officials inside Bamenda, na a crime where no could be tolerated. For the whole these past years, them Cameroon government they don't begin deny for give license for our bike people them. They complicate the life of bike men them so that they go come back, me na them go say na they go help them for get license them. All this conny and manipulation of our people, turning them into beggars, will not work and will not be tolerated. The colonial mayor, he creep inside Bamenda yesterday for organize this he call a meeting with the bike men them and people them with bring La Republique their police officer them for they say they go begin help bike people them for go get license. If you did for your own country, you no need for beg for get a license, and our people them wouldn't see enough of this manipulation, enough of stripping us naked, humiliating our people to beg for what belongs to theirs. Any individual, any citizen, where you get any information about place where Balik Awa Fidelis it is stay, Ashiri Ande Beatrice it is stay, Fongo Joseph it is stay, when I provide that information, they should be arrested immediately. The era for that colonial foolishness it don't pass. We will not tolerate such nonsense. Fellow Ambazonians, big news it come how La Republique it don't pull out of 2 of their big bases them as Sudan Siam. Similar things are going to go on across Ambazonia, and we're going to bring them for now. But these 2 significant ones, they pull out of La Republique for water tank, for Bui, and also for inside courtyard for inside Bali. Now a very big significant move. Last year, La Republique began pull out of several outposts them, and this year we don't see more. It also be linked with the COP, with the African Nations COP, but now a very big sign of weakness. It shows that the enemy it don't be defeated completely. We know very well so the plan for our liberation, the roadmap, it will include 3 phases. We will then pass the first phase for make the territory ungovernable, for the block by block, for set up vigilante and forces them for stretch the enemy, for harass them, disorient them, so that if we enter for the next stage, we're at the liberation stage, where we be focused on training armed forces then where they will be capable for carry out raid, for be able for neutralize and cripple la Republic their movement across the territory. All these phases that can be implemented effectively. Cameroon they then be tied up, as we don't see after the use of vaporizer for Bangui Road, and we don't see the effect how they then begin close their barracks them across our territory. We're going to intensify the roadmap for get into the transition stage. Hopefully by the mid of this year we will get there. Collaboration in Ground Zero is helping a lot, and our forces are all called upon to collaborate in this grand liberation plan of our country. It only reinforce the takeover, the takeover away they call them for war council, the storming of the Bastille. That plan is still beyond move, and the broader our network of forces, loyalty and collaboration, the more effective the takeover it will come happen. So we need to be ready. Our population also then need to be ready and be educated for the steps them for us for take over our country as we move towards that particular direction. When I know the key town, the way they don't point them out, as Dr. Cho, he don't talk on the strategic plan, the strategic city them. We need for our map, we need for the work towards that liberation roadmap. So the call on the forces them for Bui, and also for the forces them for inside Bali, not for just be satisfied for seeing or being jubilant for seeing La Republic pulling out and consolidating their position, but the need for allow and facilitate the process of creating the transitional authority where you go to fill the gap, because a void is dangerous without any political ideology to fill the gap. We will continue to push for the transitional authority that strengthens the local traditional courts, traditional council as a means of stabilizing areas that have been liberated. We are happy to see that more areas have fallen under Ambazonian control, to consolidate it and put the mindset of our people in line with our nationalism. Hopefully, full administrative plans will be implemented for ground, the scheme for the community schools, the pedagogic team for Ground Zero, the administrative team for Ground Zero. I hope they go feel precipitate as the War Council they consider this fast fall of Cameroon. Nevertheless, make we always be reminded the capability of the enemy for try to penetrate our defenses and for get into this area, and for make sure say enough than be done on the ground for make them impossible for them to get any place for put their head. As we know very well, this struggle is a collective one for most of the part. Even as we rely on the leadership, we need to engage our population, the leadership, the various organizations collectively for us to build the capacity for liberate our homeland. The thing why they want to bring them today again, now the flop would then get them for inside Bambalang, where La Republic then successfully ambush a team of Ambazonian fighters there, killing 4 of them that we can confirm. The report says 7, but we have confirmed only 4 deaths, and some injured soldiers have been stabilized, and the situation is stable. Nevertheless, we should learn from this. The operation was planned by No Pity, Major General No Pity. Forces were gathered to carry out the operation, including ADF forces as well. They take hold of a vehicle, and that vehicle was moving towards a position of La Republic where they were waiting already in ambush. They ambushed that vehicle, and some forces died. And this unfortunate incident, it don't show we the big mistake where some political scavenger they push them for outside, say make Ground Zero leader then person take control of the war effort. We know say it not be practical, it be impossible, and it not be effective, and it go lead for loss of life. The advantage with leadership it get them for abroad. Now the means for hover over the territory like a drone, work in central command for gather intelligence them, and make sure say operation them with soldier that they go they it be picked by intelligence on the ground in that particular area, or is being verified in that particular area, and coordination is done to carry out the operation. a general or a person who is in one zone, limited in access of information and in coordination, cannot be effective to carry out such task. We will continue to rely on the ground at the same time, but we have seen in the case of Bambalang the difficulties in this issue, and people might want to blame it in black leg, blaming it with the driver, or blame it for poor planning, or some may want to think about maybe a setup or things like that. But all that does not matter. What matters is that we learn our lesson and we move to mitigate the shortcomings. Our recommendation remains the same. Every forces should plan operation only within their areas of control. This, if they need coordination, that is a rule played by the leadership which is outside to coordinate, to motivate the donation of materials and manpower to carry out operation. If you are a force planning an operation in another area where it is not your area, we usually will take other measures to make sure that it can be implemented. But that decisions usually will rely on us being able to coordinate intelligence to make sure that those things are done perfectly. Otherwise, our position is that intelligence units should operate the way they operate nationally, and forces should be the one to pick the targets within their zone of immediate control. We honor those who have paid the ultimate price and all those who had good intention and to take correction as a means of learning. A wise person will always learn, and our people should also learn from this and know how to motivate the liberation of our homeland. We promote unity in the form of collaboration because we think that we have different ideological approach diplomatically and the various organizations within the struggle, and there is no way to have merger at this point, but we can only have collaboration as a form of unity. When two brothers have problems, to resolve such problems is for two of them to sit down, broke collar, and say that we will not fight each other again and we will fight the enemy. Any attempt for one to say that the other one will not exist, that is just something that will not happen, and that is counterproductive. We are seeing people who had helped create this unity are now coming after losing grounds and hitting their head on the wall. They are coming now to say they want to support unity and not for collaborative purposes, but as a means to harvest political power and create a power base. So our people and various factions, various activists, they should know, if you are not capable of supporting an effective ADF and the governing council, if you cannot support us selflessly simply because we are effective, then you cannot support a unity force selflessly as well. Because even though you think you are supporting them selflessly, eventually your true colors will come out and you'll be injecting your agenda in the same place, in the same unity platform that you seek to create or you seek to exploit. The problem we face in Ambazonia is not collaboration, it's not unity. The problem we face in Ambazonia, the greatest problem, is that you have activists, you have organization whose main focus is to create power bases that will guarantee their voice and their place as leaders, regardless of their effectiveness, and will see anything other than that preserve their place as a problem. That is why you find that specific people will not support anything that will not give them political capital, that will not praise them, that will not give them promises for position. This is the real problem we have. And that is why some people are incapable of supporting anything effective. So my advice to all the leaders, John Bakuru, Mark Barakta, and all the activists is that look for how you can support, look for how you can serve, look for things that can work, and you serve them and you support them. Don't look for things that will guarantee your power, will guarantee your base. Because once things can work, once things can succeed, they will eventually be of benefit of all Ambazonians. I've seen people questioning the leadership of Dr. Cho Ayaba They have seen people trying everything possible to support only initiative that will undermine the leadership of the ADF and the network of the ADF, not because they think it is not effective, not because they think it will not help the nation, but simply because it does not play the politics of guaranteeing their position. It does not play the politics of making promises to elevate individuals for certain positions that they may desire. So the ADF, the Ambazonia Governing Council, its leadership and structure have become the main obstacle and the main problem for this selfish individual or people who are still dealing with this selfishness. Meguna know, as the Dr. Cho Ibi talk, a general for Bamenda no go fit necessarily shidong the plan about issue them for Atlantic State, and likewise. So you get a leadership structure where it live in a space where they be capable for match the networking in line with the nationalist movement for in implementation of our plan, of our roadmap for independence more easily outside. If Ground Zero for Fiduam would happily hand over leadership for General Ifang or General Ivor during the time we then be there at their peak, and as they continue to be at their best for our liberation struggle. We know for the call for conclave at this stage simply for go down for table and guarantee power base for people them and various group them. Those era are over. We need to align, we need to serve, we need to support what can free our people right now, and any other chips will fall together. There should be no precondition for Ambazonians to support something that is effective. There should be no precondition for Ambazonia to align themselves and collaborate. There should be no begging of individuals. It will not happen. It should not happen. There is no room for experimentation after 5 years. Everybody should be vocal about their support. Everybody should be active and proactive and support what works. I remember it is not long ago where I came up with a plan and I submitted it to the War Council. It was something that was an emergency because we saw how La République was transforming Fundong in BOYO state into what we have seen them do with corruption in Cambe. I raised the issue and I asked for a supplementary foregone support from our people, and all hell lose out with people who had no clue about what is going on. Today, one of the crucial persons that was working on our plan on how to assist, because there are already forces in Fundong, to assist the process of liberating our people there, intervening in situation to stop the Cameroon government from polluting our people with corruption and transforming them to accept slavery under one La République. Now the commander Kabila have fallen. I would want Ambazonian to listen to his voice as we had been working this plan all along, and to know where we went wrong and how some people blindly, out of pure hatred for nothing, just hatred because they know that we are not there to give them unnecessary power and positions, they try to sabotage what has happened. And today, the key person in that plan has fallen. We also had one commander who is well trained for 9 months, who was willing to join the team to make sure that Fundong will stand. And I'll play the audios from Kabila for you people to hear, and you hope we can learn a thing or two. This audio is from November 2021, when I begin planning the issue to stop what I was seeing happening by Denis, the La République agent in BOYO, and many other people. Some of them were even trying to bribe and had successfully transformed some active resistance there into something else. And these are the conversations with Commander Kabila who have fallen.
You see that idea where they talk to the one put come for inside bone, a great idea. You know, say as you don't talk so as you be asked about Batman then have a border between BOYO and Menchum. So Batman are the last village where they come for the other side in that Fundong. So if we put the camp inside, it could be a great thing. So you are finding that same okay camp. And guy the did for talk that in a true guy the day for yeah. I want to tell you the truth. The guy them be there for now. That guy where they be one work with me. The day for when I all them that Batman guy they like 10. Where the devil inside, but where they don't talk. So if I say AJF be ready, Me ADF me they give weapon, be move stand. Now the guy the way I be tell you things one stand with them. I go meet up them play it. That man for the bring problem. True. So now the thing that what the toxin guy the day even for that side for fundong the day. Now that guy the very guy the what wants moon at the stand. So I still did not be work as I be one time. We would be ready for 5 ADF like the guy the what the talks with plenty of them who know say they not ever village because you know when they ever village now it will be dangerous for them. So someone they draw the height for that side of fundong. Someone they hide for a book day. All that area there are no fundong, no play not there for fundong, Gorish Alim. All that side for reach Mbam and no other zone for fundong. So I like the idea where they talk. That thing when that man they talk now they are on. Arcade where arcade don't go hide for some place for some bush. I know some they play where arcade they hide, they only make noise. Why they will talk? All that thing I know even they don't make that noise. They don't even stop for fight. Yes. They talk about fundong that thing that I be tell you since you say no na me before I be start writing things for you say fundong days of fundong be down and fundong na play with inside target that men fundong back men na the eyes target that way they now so because I play with that men the work are free they don't forget anything so that thing that I be tell you na the very plan that I be tell you say fundong back men na play that with target that men they get them because that guy if I not to do anything they only open them from that back men road you know so that back men road be the main road for that place back men fundong the way they only make control where they take money so even guy the day for that actually come with the work where they be talk say if I talk with you give a give way or they will come other Batman guy they with some other guy will come out to that one side for boom for that from vocal side they be talk say if you agree like we not go sit down we will talk now we go form ADF now the thing that will be the ask some things for you because fundong day down.
So those informations are there. I want to make our people to understand go down the plan since last year. I mean since early last year we will start to see move the way they make them for inside day. Would they try to engage? Would they always try to work even with the forces the way they did for the get them? I be sent Commander Talk and do our overall commander for inside Menchum. If we come for they can meet us soldier them also for see how the things and they do evaluation and everything. But when I be put the information for outside, which really happen I say those people the way they represent forces them for inside BOYO and for other places them, the forces them for the ground then get respect for them and they follow they take cue. For the most time for them because they send them money. So when you send money without giving instruction, you are not even engaged in the day-to-day battle. You have no plan. You are not motivating them to fight. You are not keeping the community engaged with the mindset of the struggle. What happened is that sometimes the forces even try to please you. They try to do things or say things because you have this money over them. You have this position over them and they follow your cue. So when you have people who are sending money in ground zero who do not understand what is happening, who are not engaged with other movements, they become a big stumbling block and even the money that they send on the ground becomes a big stumbling block. We did not go ahead to set up the unit in BOYO even though we had done all the job that was necessary just to engage now the local forces, the block by block forces who are there, General Echu, General Arke, General Gola, State Council, and all those people. Them we didn't hold the ground for Ambazonia, just for engage them that last minute. All of the signs were good, but immediately those political scavenger them when they for abroad, where they fight now for secure their own position. They fight now for whole position for position's sake, forget their own power base where they feel stand say they be person. They need to fight now for help the struggle. Immediately they hear, they see it like a challenge, like a vulnerability. They came up with all type of sabotage. Do not work with ADF. Capo Daniel ADF is not here. ADF is there, up and down. And today those forces are weakened. We could not go ahead with the plan. The forces are now being killed. The Mbororo people are now encouraging even more further. The forces that are there are being cornered, are being pushed right to the end. Needless to put out intelligence services. And we have to always put Ambazonia first. We have to always trust the common sense that where two heads are better than one. The institution of the ADF have the best minds you can think of. These have been proven by their strategy, by the projection of our country and our force and our military on the ground. And it is the best hope for us to be effective, to coordinate, to lead our people on to victory. anybody who love Ambazonia must love it, must keep aside their ego, their personal ambition, and see it factoring in Ambazonian liberation through these effective means. If there were alternative means, it will not be after 5 years that they are going to emerge. Align yourself, look for ways to help. Help forces through structure, and make sure that the structure are patriot. They are selfless and they are willing to collaborate. They don't have ambition to destroy other forces or to cripple down effective leadership and make it weak just because they want political expediency. Trust in us, trust in our leadership, trust in our coordination, collaborate with us, support us for an effective liberation struggle like you have been doing and continue to do. The only people who are intimidated by us, the only people who try to suppress us are those people who do not get it for one reason or the other. But be rest assured, we will not blink with our future and the future of our country, Ambazonia. We will pay our allegiance to those who have fallen, as our anthem says. We will continue to follow the leadership that is there, and will continue to reinforce Ground Zero for effective liberation and do what it takes to maintain sanity, truth for effective liberation of our people. Like General Mba predicted and prophesied, the Ambazonian Defense Forces will lead Ambazonia into freedom. Capo Daniel, signing out, signing off.
Maman côté oui, côté si, côté oui, côté doux, côté oui, côté si, côté oui, côté doux, côté oui. Ah maman Wally.